In our last video, we were able to look at the analytic description of a periodic function. And in this video, we'll be looking at more examples on periodic functions, on analysis of periodic functions. So now, this is the next question we're going to look at. Now, look at this is 0, this is 8, this is 16 on the x-axis, and then this is 5. Now, you see that the cycle starts from this point, which is the origin, and then goes here and then stops here and it starts again. All right. So one of the things you'll quickly notice is the period here of this periodic function is 8, because it takes from here now, it goes here and stops here. So it takes 8, let's just say 8 seconds, 8 units, whatever units, or 8 milliseconds, whatever units. All right. But here there's no specific unit. So let's say 8 units. It takes 8 units to complete a whole full cycle, because we said what a period is a complete cycle. So it means that the period is 8. So that's the first thing you'll notice. Let's keep that information down. Now, I told you that in the previous video that when you're plotting a graph and the straight line starts from the 0 mark, it means the graph has started from the origin. So this automatically becomes x1, then this automatically becomes y1. All right. So it means that from the origin of this graph, of this periodic function graph, we have 0, 0. And of course, this becomes our x1, this becomes our y1. Now, you will not notice, apart from this origin, going down to this place, you will not notice that when x is equal to 8, you see that y is equal to 5. Tracing it, y is equal to 5. Right? So that gives us the point 8, 5. And this gives us x2 and y2. This gives us what? X2, and this gives us y2. So now let's go further. So we're going to go ahead to use the equation of a straight line. What's the equation of a straight line? Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is equal to y minus y1 over x minus x1. So we're going to go ahead to use this to find the f of x, the function of this periodic function. All right. We're going to use this formula. So let's go ahead and use that. So it becomes what? Putting into this formula, you have y2 minus y1. That's what? 5 minus, what is y1? y1 is 0 over x2 minus x1. What is x2? 8 minus what is x1? 0 is equal to y minus what is y1? 0 over x minus what is x1? x1 is also 0. So 5 minus 0 gives us 5 over 8 minus 0 gives us 8 is equal to y minus 0 gives us y over x minus 0 gives us what? X. All right. So now we're going to cross multiply. This becomes what? 8y equals what? 5x. And then divide both sides. You have y is equal to y 5x. Now don't forget that this is your y-axis and it's equivalent to your f of x. All right. Don't forget this is over 8. All right. Now, so I can also write this as f of x is equal to what? 5x over 8. So writing it clearly, you have your f of x to be equal to what? 5x over 8, ranging from the values of x, from the values of 0 to what? To 8. All right. And then our period, all right, is what? 8, because it takes 8 units to complete one full cycle. So it becomes f of x plus 8 is equal to what? F of x. Now let's go ahead to solve the next question. So if you look at this diagram carefully, you see that it starts from here, comes down here, goes down here, and starts from this place again. So it tells you that moving from here up to this point is a complete cycle. Right? It's a complete cycle. But before we move on, we need some information. We need to know the value of this place. We need to know the value of this place. Also this place, although we will not be needing this part, but at least we need to know it. So if this is 2, this is 4, what do you think this will be? Of course, it should be 3. Of course, this is 4, this is 6, so this should be 5. And then, of course, this should be 7. So nobody's going to tell you that. You're going to have to figure that out yourself. That's why you need to be very careful when you're doing the analysis of these periodic functions. Now, So we have that settled. So what are we going to do next? We're going to check. Now look at, this is the y-axis and it has a negative side, it has a positive side. So this is 2, this is 0, this is minus 1. Now if you look at this very well, you notice that when x is 0, y is minus 2. When x is 0, y is minus 2. So we say when x is equal to 0, y is equal to minus 2. That gives us our first point, which is 0, 2. So this automatically becomes x1 and then this is y1. You also notice that what? Because we're taking our analysis between 0 and 3, because this is our first point. 0 and 3. You see the straight line, it touches this, it ends here and then starts again. So we're considering from 0 to 3 right now. All right. So between 0 to 3, we have seen the first one, that when x is 0, y is 2. All right. We also notice that when x is 3, y is minus 1. When x is 3, y is minus 1. So this gives us our second point. So this is 3, minus 1. So this is our x2 and then this is our y2. All right. Now we're going to go ahead to use this equation of a straight line to find the equation of this line between 0 and 3, when x is 0 and 3. Now, so putting it here, so it's going to be y2 minus y1. That's minus 1 minus y1. y1 is 2 over x2 minus x1. That is 3 minus 0 equals y minus y1, which is 2 over x minus x1, which is 0. So this gives us minus 1 minus 2 gives us minus 3 divided by 3 minus 0 gives us 3, as equal to y minus 2 over x. So this divided by this, of course, gives us minus 1 is equal to y minus 2 over x. So now let's continue. So cross multiplying, it becomes y minus 2 is equal to minus x. Take minus 2 to this side, becomes y is equal to 2 minus x. So don't forget, this is our y-axis, and it's also our f of x axis. So our f of x in this point is equal to what? 2 minus x. Now you also notice we have made our analysis between x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 3. Now you will notice that now we are looking at between 3 and 5 now, because this, it starts from here and ends here. So we're just considering from here to here, one cycle. So between 3, let's consider between 3 and 5 now. You notice that between x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 5, you will notice that what? That between x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 5, notice that what? You have y as minus 1. Look at between this and this, look at it here. You have as minus 1. All right. So you have your what? Y as what? Minus 1. So I can write this information as what? Now, before we write the analytic description, now look at what's the period of this periodic function. What's the period? What's the complete cycle of this periodic function? Now it starts here, comes here, ends here. And we've noticed that this point is what? 5. So it means that the period is 5. The period is 5. So now let's continue. So it becomes that writing this, representing this periodic function, so it becomes that what? Our f of x is going to be what? For the first one was what? 2 minus x. For the ranges of value of what? X between 0 and 3. So between 0 is less than x is less than what? 3. Between the values of 0 to 3. And then for the next one, between 3 and 5, we have that our f of x is equal to what? Minus 1, because y is minus 1. So f of x, so it's going to be minus 1 for the values of between what? 3 to 5. All right. And then our period is 5. So it becomes that what? F of x plus 5 is equal to f of x. So this is the analytic description of this periodic function. So in our next video, we'll be looking at Fourier series. We'll be solving questions on Fourier series. All right. We'll be going further to solve questions on Fourier series. Make sure you like this video, share this video, and hit the subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification button after you subscribe, so that when I upload more videos like this, you get notified.